Hey people, what is up YouTube? We got here a Black Ops gun game gameplay, which can only mean one thing. It means that I am knifing today. But this gameplay, I think I might have actually probably used my guns a couple times. I'm not sure. This gameplay was taken so long ago. But I think for the majority of the time, I was only knifing. I may have gotten bored some part through the game and then just start shooting. Don't know why, but I is gonna do that sometimes. So don't go raging like this sniper is shooting guns, because obviously I have more gun games than I do knifing gameplays. So don't be raging, peoples. Be patient. You know, this poor Brian guy though, I gotta say I felt so bad for him because I don't think anybody's been knifed more times than Brian. Brian was just minding his own business. Like, look at this, poor guy. I don't know if I got him, but I think I might have. But this poor guy was just doing his own thing, running around, probably knew I was behind him, and then, poor Brian. I'm sorry, Brian. If you ever come across this gameplay, it is nothing personal. I just like to knife people in Black Ops. But this gameplay today, we are going to be talking about GOG. And no, I did not say God, I said GOG. Poor Brian, look at that. He has to go sit back now. And if you guys don't know what GOG means, it means Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, you're probably thinking, but where's the T? And it should be Gutke. But it's not Gutke, it's GOG, because some people sometimes like to leave out certain words. Like, when you say United States of America, it's USA, not USO. I mean, you don't hear that. So that's what I did with the. I just left the out and I kept in. So it's Guardians of the Galaxy. But if you guys have not seen that movie, you might not want to watch this gameplay because I'm going to be talking about that. But if you don't want to watch the movie and you don't really care, or you don't really care about me spoiling that, stick around if you want. It's going to be a party. Just like every other gameplay I've done in this world. But Guardians of the Galaxy, I personally think they did a great job on that movie because it was adventurous, it had humor, and it was just an overall pretty good game. Now, a good game, derp. I meant it was a good movie. Now, the thing is that none of the actors I actually recognized at all. None of them. They were all kind of new to me. I didn't even know who they were. But the only actor that I did recognize was the dude off of The Walking Dead. And he was Daryl's brother, the old guy who was like cranky and without the hand. And he's like, I'm gonna slice through your throat, boy. You know, the creepy old dude who just like turned into a zombie at the end. Yeah, he was odd. He played in that movie as the captain of the scavengers, I think. I don't even know. I thought they were scavengers because all they did was go around the galaxy and look for trash and stupid stuff. But he was the captain of that fleet, which was pretty cool. I think they really did a great job with, like, just the graphics of all that. Like, even the weapon that he had as his choice was like this little arrow thing that he could whistle and it flew around and wherever, it just kind of killed whoever was in the area. That was awesome. It was, I think, too powerful though, because how would you kill somebody like that? But yeah, the humor, I really liked that, because if it was all adventurous, yeah, it would have been cool, but I think the humor really kind of gave it a few extra points. But then again, I also went to theater, and up here on the West Coast, we have this theater called the Cinetopia, which is like the world's best theater, because it basically, like, when you go to most theaters, from the space that you have to the seat that's in front of you is like a foot worth of space. Like, you really can't do much with it. At Cinetopia, they give you like 5 feet of space in front from you to the seat that's in front of you, which is just amazing. And the surround sound is just the bomb. And also, I saw the movie in 3D, so pretty much any movie you see in 3D, no matter how bad it is, always kind of gets a few extra points because of the 3D-ness. Or how would you say that? 3D-ness? That sounds like I'm almost saying anus. but I'm not. Yeah, but the 3D really kind of kicked it off to a great start. The humor was awesome because, like, even at the end, when that, I forgot what his name was, but when that blue dude was about to, like, come in and just kind of annihilate the whole planet, he was stopped by the dancing of the Star-Lord, and that was just, like, it was awkward because, like, something intense was gonna happen. Like, you knew that guy was gonna just totally annihilate the planet and everything that lived on it. But then you have this dude that's just like dancing right in front of him and trying to distract him. And it was funny. Like, there was just no way that you really kind of couldn't laugh because the dance was just, it was so bad. And he's trying to distract this, like, villain from just kind of destroying everything. And it was great. I mean, even the beginning that they started off when he was running away from the bad guys and into a ship, that was funny because it turned out that he had a girl and he was just like flying all over the place and he didn't even remember her name, and I guess he did something with her the previous night, which if you don't know what that means, then don't ask mommy and daddy because they might ban you from my channel. But yeah, besides that, it was just a great movie. And the graphics, I think they, to me, I think they did a great job with the graphics. There wasn't really anything that I didn't like. I think the characters were all great. I mean, you had the main guy, Star-Lord, who just, he was a goober. That's all, that's the only way to explain it. He was just a goober. And then you had the chick who was just like a BA fighter, and she was just taking everybody out. Then you had the super buff guy who was just kind of dumb, but he was a pretty boss because, I don't know, I liked him. I think he was pretty cool. Then you had the little raccoon dude. He was also pretty cool. He had some pretty funny moments. And then you had Groot, which, I mean, how can you not like Groot? If you've seen the movie, you gotta like Groot. He was awesome. I mean, that's a dude that I would just like replant all day just to have like a billion Groots. I mean, he was so cool. And it was just awesome. And his power where he could just like, where he like took his roots and stuck it up the dude's nose and like held him up like 10 feet in the air, that was pretty sick. Sick as in gross and sick as in awesome. So you could look at it both ways actually. But even when he died at the end and then was replanted as a baby Groot, it was just even more cool because then you're like, well, now Groot can never die. But then the raccoon thing, I wasn't really sure, like, so is the raccoon actually a robot or is he actually a real raccoon? Or like, did they take him from planet Earth and make him into a robot? Or what did they do? Because that was kind of trippy. I didn't really understand what that was about. But I think they set the movie up perfectly for a second movie, which I think they will. I don't see why they wouldn't do a second. It would make sense that they did, especially now that we know that the Star-Lord, his dad was actually not even human, so now we gotta figure out what his dad was. And some people think that it was that big blue dude with the golden chair and the golden uniform on that little star, but I don't think it is because they said that it was an unknown or like something that nobody's ever seen, but I think people have seen him before, so I wasn't sure about that. I don't know what to think he is, but yeah, the ending though, if you guys like, after all of the names and whatever and like who produced it, after all that, I think the ending was kind of stupid though, with like the duck and then the dog that came up to that weird dude who was collecting all that stuff. That they could have cut that out because I was like, you kind of like left like, wow, what just happened? I'm kind of lost here. Cause it was just weird. But overall, besides that part, I think they did a great job with the movie. Out of 10, I would probably give it a 10. For those of you that didn't like the movie, you'd probably be like, wow, this is a waste of my time if you actually even made it to this far in the video. Because you're probably like, I didn't even like the movie, I thought it was stupid, but you probably didn't see it in 3D, and if you did and you still didn't like it, well, I don't know, you might have problems, young boy or young girl, because in 3D, everything is just better. How did I not even kill you, Mr. Stopskeckins? Yeah, as you guys could tell, my boy is joining me in this game, just as he does in pretty much every other gameplay. But we're hitting the 15, 14, 13 second mark, so it's almost over, and I will see you guys in maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, I don't know. Goodbye, everybody. Bro.
No matter what we go through, you step up, I step up too. It don't matter what the haters say.